Why is it that the moment someone becomes impossible to reach, we suddenly can't stop thinking about them? You check your phone obsessively, you replay every conversation, you feel this magnetic pull towards someone who's clearly pulling away from you. But here's what most people don't understand about walking away. There's actually a psychological formula behind why it works so powerfully. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use this formula. But first, you need to understand why your brain is wired to chase what runs away from you. Think about the last time someone became distant with you. Maybe they stopped texting back quickly. Maybe they seemed less interested in your plans. What happened in your mind? If you're honest, you probably started thinking about them more, not less. This isn't weakness. This is human psychology. Your brain operates on something called the scarcity principle. When something becomes rare or hard to obtain, your mind automatically assigns it higher value. But there's a deeper layer to this that most people miss. And understanding this layer is crucial before we get to the real power move. When someone is always available, always eager, always saying yes to everything you suggest, your brain categorizes them as low value. Not consciously, you'd never admit this to yourself, but subconsciously, easy access equals low worth. We take for granted what we can have anytime we want. The moment someone becomes unavailable, everything changes. Your brain starts working overtime because it's trying to solve a puzzle. If they were interested before, what changed? This internal questioning becomes consuming because we're wired to want what we can't have. But here's where it gets interesting, and this is something that will completely change how you see relationships. Walking away isn't just about creating scarcity, it's about triggering something much more powerful in the human psyche. When you walk away from someone, you're not just making yourself scarce, you're forcing them to confront their own behavior and priorities. Most people take others for granted until those people are no longer available. Your absence becomes a mirror that reflects their true feelings. But there's a critical mistake most people make when they try to walk away, and this mistake ruins everything. They do it as a manipulation tactic. They create artificial scarcity, hoping to get a reaction. This never works long-term because it's not authentic. Real power in walking away comes from genuine self-respect. It's not a strategy you perform. It's a boundary you maintain. When you walk away because you truly won't accept less than you deserve, something profound happens in the other person's mind. They start to realize that if you're willing to walk away, you must have something worth walking away from. Your boundaries suggest value. If you have standards high enough to leave, those standards make you more attractive, not less. But walking away creates another psychological effect that's even more powerful. It breaks the chase dynamic that kills attraction. When you stop pursuing someone who isn't reciprocating, you force them to either step up or step out. Here's what happens in their mind when you truly walk away. First, they notice the change. The constant texts stop. The eager availability disappears. The predictable attention is gone. This creates what psychologists call cognitive dissonance. Their brain starts asking questions. Why aren't they chasing me anymore? Did I misread their interest? What do they know that I don't? This internal dialogue becomes consuming because humans hate unsolved puzzles. But the real magic happens next, and this is the part that most people never reach because they don't walk away properly. When someone realizes you're genuinely okay without them, when they see you're not desperate for their attention, attraction increases exponentially. There's something magnetic about someone who doesn't need you but chooses to be around you. It's the difference between someone who stays because they're desperate and someone who stays because they want to. Walking away also does something crucial for you personally. Every time you choose self-respect over desperation, you build genuine confidence. Every time you refuse to settle for less than you deserve, you strengthen your sense of worth. This confidence becomes visible to others. People can sense when someone knows their value versus when someone is desperately seeking validation. Confidence is attractive because it suggests you have reasons to be confident. But here's the most important part, and missing this will make everything else worthless. Walking away only works if you're genuinely prepared to stay away. If you walk away as a bluff, hoping they'll chase you, your energy will betray your true intentions. The person has to believe you're actually okay without them. They have to see that you're not playing games or trying to manipulate them. You're simply choosing not to invest in someone who doesn't reciprocate your energy. When someone realizes you'll genuinely leave rather than accept poor treatment, they're forced to make a real decision. Do they want to lose you or do they want to step up? Many people don't realize what they had until it's walking away. This creates urgency in their mind. Suddenly, you're not the safe option who will always be there. You're someone with boundaries, standards, and the self-respect to enforce them. This makes you infinitely more attractive than someone who accepts whatever scraps of attention they receive. But walking away requires courage, and this courage is what separates people who get respect from people who don't. It's scary to step back from someone you care about. What if they don't come back? What if you end up alone? Here's the truth that changes everything. If someone doesn't value you enough to meet your reasonable expectations, losing them isn't a loss. It's making space for someone who will appreciate what you bring. The most powerful walkaway happens when you're not doing it to get a reaction. When you step back because your standards demand it, because your mental health requires it, because you genuinely deserve better, that's when it becomes irresistible. People respect what they can lose. When you demonstrate that you can walk away, you prove that you're choosing to stay. And choice, not desperation, is the foundation of every healthy relationship. Start practicing this immediately. Don't always be the first to text. Don't always say yes to plans that don't excite you. Set boundaries around your time and energy. Watch how differently people treat you when you're not constantly available. The power of walking away is ultimately the power of choice. Your ability to leave makes your decision to stay meaningful, and that's what makes you irresistibly attractive.